pretty good is still not good enough. They know that pretty good is still broken, and pretty good won't take you to amazing places. How do you survive?
I run on believe juice. Like, that was a total freestyle episode and maybe our best one. So I like the lack of preparation. Yeah, baby.
Welcome to Something to Prove podcast. I am Mark Drager. I am joined, of course, as always, with Mr. Evan Carmichael. Good morning / good day to you, sir.
Thank you for the love, man. Much love from, where am I right now? San Jose.
Listen, it's episode 3 of the podcast. Episode 1 launched. And for those who are listening on Google Play or Stitcher or Spotify or Apple Podcast, or if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're joining us in the Instagram live stream, welcome to everyone.
It's a big audience. We're reaching millions here.
I love it. I love it. Real quick catch-up time. You're in San Jose, which I confuse with San Diego all the time. You just got in last night. What are your first impressions?
It's very different than San Diego. It's a whole different city. It's amazing.
Right, because it's further north. It's near San Francisco. It's very different culture, very different people.
There you go. Yeah. I don't know much, to be honest. We just got in last night, and now it's morning. So I'm doing my event today. I don't explore on event day. I'm usually in a coffee shop, just focused on what I'm going to talk about tonight. And then tomorrow we'll likely be working and exploring. So no sense yet, but looking forward to it.
So at the time of recording, so you're on 12 of 23 stops. So you're past the halfway point. You've just passed it. How you feeling? Good.
I'm equally excited to come home because I've launched so many new things already that I can't wait to go home and work on. And I'm also equally excited to keep going and finish off the tour. So, yeah, feeling good.
Awesome. Let's jump into the topic. You requested for me not to send you the topic in advance anymore.
Yeah, that's the worst. Don't send people topics in advance.
Well, some people who aren't number 7s like you.
Let's just kill all spontaneity and have the whole thing pre-planned in advance. That sounds like a great idea.
Well, just by me sending you the topic so you can formulate some of the...
Kill all spontaneity! And
doesn't mean you know what I'm going to say. You have no idea what I'm going to say.
Kill all spontaneity. Okay, new topic. Here we go. What is it? What are we talking about, Mark?
Are you ready? I want to talk to you about good being the enemy of great. I want to talk to you today about the fact that when things are broken, when they're not working, when we're miserable, when we're at the bottom, we are willing to risk everything and anything to fix it. But when things are okay, but not amazing, when things are pretty good, but not working as well as they could be, when things are kind of going along, you're not willing to risk anything. You want to protect things that are okay because you don't want to risk it to get what could be amazing. That's what I want to talk to you about today.
Mark, that was a nice little rant you went on there. I like your little rehearsed rant. That was good. I like it.
It's not rehearsed. I just happened to say this exact same thing on Friday night on my IG video. So.
Listen, podcast, you get the recycled Mark Drager.
No, it's not. It's not recycled at all. I have been obsessed with this idea because on Friday night I had this epiphany, and maybe you've been talking about it a long time. Good being the enemy of great, but the epiphany I had was maybe just in my own head being able to figure this out, which is the people who have done amazing things that we look up to are willing to completely destroy what they have, blow up what they have, and not settle for pretty good. They are willing to risk everything that they have that's pretty good because they know that pretty good is still not good enough. They know that pretty good is still broken, and pretty good won't take you to amazing places. Whereas me and a lot of other people hold on to pretty good because it's pretty good, like I have a pretty good team. I have pretty good revenue. Is the team what I want? Maybe not. Is their profits where I want? Maybe not. Is my company where I want it to be? Maybe not. But I will never get to where I want to be if I'm busy holding on to pretty good. And that's the epiphany I had Friday night. And you may have been telling me this for years, but it just finally hit me.
It sunk in. We had the extra heavy hammer coming down finally. Yeah, dude, most people are willing to just photocopy their life. You settle for photocopying the same day you had yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before. It sucks. I think you have to go off and chase it down. It's scary, though, because you're venturing into the unknown. And you'd rather stay in your comfort zone with a decent life than risk being uncomfortable for going for something greater.
Why? Why do we do that to ourselves?
You're afraid. You're afraid of what the new thing will bring.
Now let's hold on here. You're using you as in the sense of one person. Someone is afraid. In the comments, I always get hammered because people are like, Mark, Evan really, you should listen to Evan. He really taught you something. So you're saying you as in, yes, Mark and Evan, but also all listeners and participants, right?
Look how sensitive Mark is. Okay, guys, in the comments, let's show Mark a little bit of love. He's very sensitive about the comments you guys are leaving. So yes, we're talking about you. You, Mark, you, Evan, and you, the audience, listening or watching.
Thank you. Thank you for that hedge. I appreciate it.
It's not my hedge, it's yours. Yeah, you're afraid. It's scary, dude. It's scary. Like, listen, I'm doing it right now. There's maybe a handful of guys who I respect in the YouTube space. Like, I count them on my hand, that the number of people who I really would listen to if they gave me advice on YouTube, just because I'm super ahead of the game. So one of them pushed me a couple days ago on Sunday and said, you should split up your channel into multiple channels. You shouldn't have 3 videos a day. You should do 1 video a day on 3 channels, or break it up into more channels. Like, ooh, I don't like that. But okay, what's my test? Said, well, test just doing 1 video a day for a week. Like, okay. So that's what we've been doing for the past 3 days. 1 video a day. And it kills me. It kills me, dude. It kills me. I'm looking like, oh, where's the espresso? The espresso is gone. Oh, my lunchtime video is gone. It's only the top 10s and the mentor me's right now. My espresso videos usually crush and lead to subscribers to my channel. And they're not up right now. And that is massively uncomfortable. I have people messaging me. It's like, Evan, I rely on your espressos every day at the gym while I'm working out, and they're not there. My workout's going to suck now. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
This must extrovert you, because your greatest fear is to let people down as well, right? So now these people are messaging you and saying, Evan, where's my Evan fix? Where's my espresso fix? And every message must be a reminder to you how much you let them down.
Yeah, and so, but what's my option? Like, I have to do it. I have to do it to test to see. Otherwise, I can debate him and say, I don't think you're right, but it's just a theory until I go off and do it. And so we're starting to get some data. My next fear is, I don't know if a week is going to be enough. I don't know if a week is enough. Like, oh my God, how long do I need to test this for? I'm destroying potentially everything. And it's scary and it sucks. And I may be making the worst mistake of all time. I did this a couple months ago when YouTube came up with their premiere strategy. I went all in on premieres and it tanked my channel. Tanked. Look at my numbers in November, December. It's like half of what I normally would do. I cut my business in half off of an experiment. And now I'm doing it again. And Premiere was a massive failure. This one, we'll see. I don't know. But I don't know. You got to be willing to risk it, because otherwise you don't know. So it was 2 months of cutting my business in half. And maybe I never recover from it. The alternative is to never know and to always be comfortable and to never take any chances. And that's not the entrepreneurial way.
You might say it's not, but it's how many of us live.
Yeah, but it's not how you want to live.
No, and that's
how you are living, but it's not how you want to live. So it's not the entrepreneurial way.
But okay, but that's the disconnect, right? The disconnect is
there's no disconnect. That's fully connectable. Everybody understands that.
Let me finish, man. I'll let you talk about your YouTube stuff.
We shall not let this stand.
I don't like you saying it's the entrepreneur way, because for anyone who's not living that way, they might go, oh, I guess I'm not an entrepreneur. I guess I'm not entrepreneurial enough. I guess I'm not this. I guess I'm not this. And the negative self-talk will reinforce it. What I'm suggesting is that we are risk takers. We are comfortable with risk, and we think we're comfortable with risk, but we're actually only comfortable with the risks that we're comfortable with, right? And to others who have a career or a job, they may look at entrepreneurs and say, wow, you're a risk taker. But most entrepreneurs wouldn't say that they are. They just have a certain comfort level with risk. And what I'm saying is you need to look at things that are kind of working as failures, right? If it's failing, of course you're going to fix it. But if things are kind of working, you still need to look at it as a failure, because that's the only way to push you to be willing to cut that stuff to try something even bigger or better. Your channel is successful. You gain your 20 or 30, you gain your 1,500, people per day on YouTube as subscribers. So you gain your 40,000 people per month on YouTube, and anyone looking at you will say you're successful, but you're willing to risk pretty good in the pursuit of amazing, right? I don't know if that's a level of maturity, or if that's a level of comfort, or if that's just a mindset, but this is new for me, and I'm wondering how others get to the other side of that.
It's unfair to look at your life versus an Elon Musk or Steve Jobs or whoever and say, I don't measure up. It's your own level of breaking comfort zones, because you're way behind them. And so you have to think, when I say the entrepreneur way, I'm not trying to compare you to me or anybody else. It's compare you to yourself. You're disappointed with yourself. You know you can do more. And so you must. That's the entrepreneur way. That's it. And I'm drinking my water every morning because Mark Drager told me to.
You guys have no idea how little Evan drinks. We're at Tony Robbins. We're arriving at like 8 a.m. because Evan wants to be front row, wants his spot. We're getting there 45 minutes before it opens on like 5 hours of sleep. So we're getting there, and we're there till 2 a.m, and the man would drink half a bottle of water. We're jumping around, we're dancing, we're going crazy. I'll have had like 14 bottles of water. I'll have gone to the bathroom like a million times, and I look over, and he's had this much water. How do you survive?
I run on Believe juice. I don't want to miss content. I don't want to go to the bathroom and miss content.
Well, is that it? That's our conversation? That's, so this is what happens when I don't send you the topic in advance, and you don't have a little bit of time to think about it.
What do you mean?
We're able to wrap up a conversation in a matter of 8 minutes.
Well, where do you want to take it? Where do you want to bounce with it? This is the best part.
I guess what I would like to do is to help people be able to identify and have enough self-awareness to know that the things that they think rock may actually not be as good as they think. When I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, I find entrepreneurs fall into two camps. They either approach things by saying, listen, could we be better? Of course we could be better, but we're really, really good. And then that never motivates them to change. Or on the other side of things, they're fatalistic and they think we're terrible at everything. I don't come across many entrepreneurs or speak to many people who fall into this weird middle category. It's either we're really good at this or we're pretty good at it, and could we be better? Of course we can, but I don't need to change. Or the world is falling, I'm terrible at it, help me fix it, please. How do we get to the point where we can look at our systems, our processes, the way we market, the way we sell, the things we think, how we want to grow, the life we want to live, the amount of money we want to make? How do we get over and break through and realize that what we're doing today, if it's a few years into it, is not going to get me to where I want to be? How do I look at it and realize that I need to get better, that it's not where it needs to be, and how I assess the level of risk I'm willing to take, because it feels big and it feels scary. If you're earning enough money to get by, and you're only earning enough money to get by, and you can't take your business to the next level, you don't want to risk that paying the rent, that making the car payment, that whatever it is. You don't want to risk that for what could be.
I don't know that you need to.
But that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like to people, right?
No. Well, it's taking the emotional risk. It doesn't have to be a financial risk. It's taking the emotional risk. Most people aren't willing to risk failing in public on something and just getting started with it. you're being a perfectionist. You want this thing to be perfect. And so then you think you have to go and spend a bunch of money to make it happen. You want to start a YouTube channel, so you think you have to go buy this fancy camera and hire an editor and all this fancy stuff, where you should have just started from your cell phone. We want to be perfect, and so that's where we spend a bunch of money to try to do it, and that's where it gets dangerous of putting your house on the line or something. I don't think you have to do that. I think you just have to take the emotional risk and say, I'm going to start. I'm going to start. It's going to be messy. It's not going to be perfect. And I'm going to put it up. I'm going to start and see what happens.
Right. But when you're starting, there's often very little to risk. In fact, I guess what I'm thinking about is there is this thing that happens when you're 2 or 3 years into a business where you've been doing it long enough that you're not bankrupt yet. You know, you didn't crash and burn right away, but it feels like you're never going to get to that next level for a lot of us, right? And so if you're starting a YouTube channel, or if you're starting a new thing, or if, you know, whatever it is, there's actually less to risk than if you're 2 or 3 years into something and it's kind of working, right?
I think a lot of people feel that way after 2 to 3 years because they weren't evolving their business, or they've evolved as a human. Like, you need to be constantly making these adjustments in your business, not waiting until you hate your business 3 years in and feel like you suck.
Okay, so how do you do that?
You constantly look at your business and say, holy crap, I need to get better. I think here's how it starts. 99% of the time, you need to live with a land of I suck. I need to get better. I need to improve. 1% of the time, you probably need to be gentle on yourself. The I suck comes from a place of I love myself. If you don't love yourself, then you're never going to get to the spot where you can actually live in the land of I suck. So most of the time, you should be pushing yourself harder. 1% of the time, you should be saying, I'm amazing. And so I see it as swimming. Like, you're swimming, you want to swim forever. There's no island. We're not trying to get to an island. I want to swim forever. Forever. Because I love swimming. But sometimes you feel like you're drowning and you need to just tread water and look back and realize how far you've come. But if you just sit there and look backwards and say, look at how far I come, I'm amazing, and you never push forward. So most of the time, 99% of the time, you need to be harder on yourself. And 1% of the time, you need to be gentle on yourself. Are you proud of the reasons why you're not doing it? Like, are you proud of the reasons why you're not pushing harder? You know, if my mom went to the hospital right now, I would stop this podcast and go be with her. And that means my business suffers. And this podcast is super short, whatever. I'm okay with that. I'm proud of the reasons why. Most of the time, you're not proud of the reasons why. If you look at where you are in your business and you've accepted good, you're not proud of the reason why. You know you can do more. You are not proud of yourself. And so that's the starting point. Next, you need to think about the things that will push you outside that zone. Everybody needs a kick, but you want to kick forward, not down. What we do is we tend to kick ourselves down. We suck. What you want to do is kick yourself forward. No, I don't suck as a human. I just don't have the skills yet that I need to get to where I need to be. And so you need to kick. I do it mostly through my channel. I'm around Elon Musk and Steve Jobs and Oprah Winfrey, and I'm making the content now 1 time a day instead of 3. And when I watch that, it pushes me to do better. It forces me to examine my life and my business and say, what can I learn from this person to go off and have a bigger impact? Because I know it can do more. For most entrepreneurs, if you're actually in business and you're starting to have some success, you're the most successful person in your life. You're around people who hate their life. They wake up every day and they hate their life. That's who you're hanging around. Mm-hmm. And so you're already the best in your little tiny pond. And so it's now stepping outside the pond and forcing bigger fish into your pond. So it gives you something to shoot for. And so I do it through the content. I do it by watching my videos. Like, I make selfies for myself and then I share it with other people. If you feel like you're waking up and just photocopying your life every day, you don't have enough of an external stimulus to push you into doing more because all your friends suck and hate their life. Mm-hmm. So you need to inject that. whatever that thing is. For me, it's videos. For other people, it might be a podcast. For other people, it might be meeting people or conferences or events. But you need to have that planned in on a daily basis to push you forward. Otherwise, you'll stay where you are.
So it starts with getting comfortable with the fact that you suck.
Based off the fact that you are amazing. I'm amazing as a person, and I suck in my skill sets. You're amazing as a human being, but you suck.
Go hit it. Go ahead, hit me.
Mark Drager, you suck.
Yeah, at what? Go ahead.
Everything, forever. Now get better, right? But you can only actually use that in a positive way if you feel that you're amazing. If you feel like you suck as a human and then you just pile on top of I suck at all these skills too, great. Now you're just depressed.
Yeah. I don't know the stuff that I should know, and I don't know how to learn it, and I don't have the time, and my parents don't believe in me, and I don't have money, and I live in a bad country. All these excuses, right, that are just excuses. And then you pile onto that, I suck, and I don't like who I am. And I'm not saying that this is me all the time, but it's hard to get to the super Evan believes sauce, sunny, reframing, number 7, positive, optimistic Evan lifestyle.
But so you need to hang around the content and the people that make you feel that way. What makes you feel that way? And then be around that every morning. Do that every morning.
Yeah. I love getting the crap kicked out of me by Evan now. It is so painful in the moment, and I get so angry, whatever.
You really do get angry. And let's add defensive to that list too. Very defensive.
Sensitive, defensive. I feel like I'm misunderstood. 2 weeks ago when I was sick. Oh man, I was so angry with you. I was so upset with an email that you sent. And
what did I send 2 weeks ago? Oh yeah, that was, you just sucked. That was terrible, Mark. That was bad. You got so sensitive is okay. Sensitive is okay. Defensive is not, because defensive keeps you in your crap.
Yeah.
Right? Like you sent over something that you shouldn't have been proud of, and it was garbage. And so you got upset that I called it garbage. So this is what we're talking about?
Yeah. You shoveled a level of high school attitude that was so, It was so, yeah.
It wasn't. That's just what you heard, because you're being sensitive and defensive. Sure. I didn't sugarcoat it because you now need to be able to handle it without the sugarcoating.
Anyway, so here's the thing. On the other side of it, I've learned to love it, because it's I know coming out to the other side of it, and there are times where I try not to engage, but then I was I fall into the trap, the Evan trap of engaging and then getting yelled at, and then on the other side of it, I'm like, oh, there you go, I learned something new.
So what have you learned from this? I'm confused.
Personally, what I've learned from it, it's
sure.
I'm starting to come around to the being able to say, I suck, I can't wait to get better. When I think if you asked me 6 months ago, I have probably spent most of my life not being able to say I suck without saying I suck, and that's going to make me better. I would just go I suck. The reason why I'm not on Facebook is because I find going on Facebook very, very depressing. And it's not a fear of missing out. I find the political inability to have conversations depressing. I find the articles depressing. I find looking at what other people are doing and them showing their shiny plastic lives and not the authenticity, not the realism. I find that depressing. And so it's just I learned it's just easier not to be on Facebook. I'm so much happier now that I'm not on Facebook, but that's me. It's not them. It's not the people. It's not my friends. It's not my family. It's not the Facebook platform. It's because I would be this makes me feel like I suck, and not at the place now maybe where it can be okay, I suck and I can't wait to get better. Negative comments now, oh man, we were joking earlier about comments from your team and how sensitive I am. Or not your team, but the people in their thing. I love them. I love them now because they fire me up so much, and I think many of them are really funny. I'm sure there's way more negative stuff that can come my way. But in October, I would have been oh man, this is the most depressing thing ever. So I think there are more people probably like me who are unsure and lack confidence and would struggle with saying I suck, then there are people like you who go, I suck and I can't wait to crush it. I'm the worst and I can't wait to get better. I think that's a journey that you have to become comfortable with. You have to get to.
That's why you have to distinguish between I suck as a human and I suck at the skills. I don't suck as a human. I suck at when I say I suck, it's not that I suck. I just don't have the skill set yet. I'm amazing as a human. When I sent that email criticizing your garbage work, it wasn't that Mark Drager sucks as a human. I love Mark Drager. He's one of my favorite humans alive, period. He just needs to up his skill set.
Okay, audience, here you go. You ready? So here's the line that threw me off. Evan goes, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. This isn't good enough. I'm good with all of that. And then the last line was something like, I may have been out of touch, but unless if we change the strategy to doing garbage work, this isn't good enough or something like that. And I was like, wow, that's catty.
That's not catty. So let's break it down, because the sensitiveness is causing defensiveness.
Yeah.
I have not been involved in all the discussions happening between you and the team who are doing the work. I was sent this, not from you, but from my team, to say, hey, Evan, what do you think? And I'm jumping in, assuming you guys have already had weeks or months of back and forth, and I don't have the full context. So I may be missing something. But this thing that was sent to me is a piece of garbage. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it was. And so the back and forth was, you're caught up on it being a mean email, which it wasn't mean-spirited. This is point blank garbage work that nobody's proud of. So we need to make it better.
Sure. And I was fine with the criticism. It was just the line, I'm not in the loop, so maybe I'm way off base here. Maybe boring, dull, and faded was the right strategic decision that I missed.
Yeah, I'm proud of that quote.
Oh, and then I wrote you just a note saying, like, are you trying to be insulting? And you're like, oh, what's up? What are you talking about?
That was a big waste of time. Like, I don't know how long it took to get to that thing, but the whole process was a big waste of time. If we look at the strategic direction of the business and the vibrancy and the colors and all of the boldness that we're going after, and then this being the result of that boring, whatever I said, boring, dull, and the third one, yeah, those are the correct adjectives for the thing that was sent back. And considering what the brand direction was for the business, that is a big mismatch. So unless some big strategic thing happened that I missed, then this is a piece of garbage.
Sure.
So I allowed for that caveat. Like, maybe I missed something.
But what you didn't allow for is any of the context or the reason why we ended up there based off of your team's requests, business style, objectives, and everything else.
The result is garbage. Mm-hmm. It was dull. It was boring. It doesn't reflect the brand. And sure, maybe that's on my team. And the team should know better. And Mark Drager, being the maestro, like, you're the guy. You're the brand whisperer. That shouldn't have been allowed to happen. Like, you got to put your foot down and say, this sucks. Like, I'm not going to let you destroy your business with this garbage content that you want me to do. No, I will not make it dull. No, I will not make it muted. Remember when we had that brand discussion? This is what your brand is all about.
Yeah.
I will not put this on a computer screen and design it, because this is against what your brand stands for. Right? That's what Mark Drager should be doing. Right?
And this is the conversations and the arguments we have, and then I go, okay, I understand. I understand.
That's what it is. But it wasn't mean.
Okay.
It's love. That's love.
Evan's approach to love is that.
Yeah, you know why?
Love
because
people so much that you're willing to tell them the truth.
So yeah, some people, and because of what.
Whoa, some people?
Listen, if somebody comes to my workshop tonight, I'm not going to pound them in their face like I would with you. One, because I don't know them as much, and two, that may not be the best thing for them. Some people need to be hugged through something, and I'm not the greatest at that, but I would be way more empathetic.
Whoa. Hold on. Update. How's Hugs Over Handshakes going?
Oh, I haven't been doing that.
What? So at Tony Robbins, you decide I am no longer going to give handshakes. I am only going to hug people. And suddenly you just totally forgot Hugs Over Handshakes?
I did. I got comfortable with the uncomfortableness. Like it became normal, and then it didn't stick. Like the most awkward ones were the ones that I did in New York, right? It's like I love, and then you just hug, and then it slowly got more comfortable as it was still uncomfortable, but slowly got more and more comfortable, and then it just became normal, and then I didn't feel the need to. I just forgot about it.
Yeah. So just to help fill people in New York, for some reason, you made the decision to connect with people better, to be more believe. You're not going to you're not going to let a stranger shake your hand. You're going to give them a hug. You're going to have that connection. And so when people started coming up to you, you had to figure out how, they're sticking their hand out. Their right hand is out. They're ready to shake your hand for a sign of respect. And somehow you need to go in and slap the hand away and give the hug to say, I love this person. And you had to try and overcome that weird social dynamic.
Right. And then I did. It was more the awkwardness of having to do it. And then I did it. And then it didn't become awkward anymore. So it didn't feel like a challenge. I don't know. I could do it again.
You only do stuff that you feel challenged to do? You don't do stuff. What's that about?
So like I painted my nails because it was a challenge, but it's not an expression of me. So I stopped painting my nails. So like I have to keep doing it. So I don't know.
But the hug was an expression of you, was it not?
It was an experimental expression, right? Like it was a test because I was nervous to do it.
You're addicted to the uncomfortableness, aren't you?
I'm not addicted to it, but if I catch it, then I'm addicted to crushing it. If I catch something that I feel like, oh man, that's going to make me feel uncomfortable, then I want to do it. But I'm not like every day I have to go do something. So back to the point, because we moved off it. Some people need to be hugged through something, and it's honestly not my greatest skill set. Like if somebody's like Alex has cried multiple times in me working with him because he's beating himself up too hard, and I'm not the greatest at that. I'm definitely not going to go and start pounding him harder because he's not in a position to hear it, and so that's a skill set I could work more on, but. Somebody coming tonight, they may need to be pushed really hard, and otherwise they may need to be understood or hugged through something. But I'm harder on you because you need it and can take it and you want it. I would not send that email to anybody else, right?
I forwarded it to my team.
Great, but I wouldn't send that email to your team because I don't know your team. If this wasn't you doing the work, if it's just some random company that we hired, I wouldn't even focus on them. Like I'd be all on my team. Like, guys, what the heck is this piece of garbage that came in? You know what our brand is all about? Like, what is this thing? Come on. And not focus on this is helping you grow your business and be better as an entrepreneur yourself, not me trying to grow mine. Mm-hmm. So most people I wouldn't go deep and invest that much time into unless I saw that, they were being receptive and really wanted to grow.
Well, there you go. Let's switch gears. We have 3 questions that we hit every single episode to try and get to know Evan, and I can share my thoughts as well.
Let's also quickly recap. Like that was a total freestyle episode and maybe our best one. So I like the lack of preparation.
we
Yeah, baby.
we didn't really circle around at all on or land on the original thing, which is good being the enemy of great. We went through a lot of different stuff. I'm sure it's all valuable. Everyone's going to tell us they love it, so that's great.
It's the best, Mark.
It's the best. It's the best. Listen, first one. Would you rather be unable to use search engines or unable to use social media?
Search engines, because you can probably get it through social media.
You're all about the hack, eh? So you would go out and go, guys, real quick. So I'm arguing with friends over what year Lion King came out. Real quick, hit me up. Was it 92, 93, or 94, or 95? Let me know. Like that. Yeah. That's what you would do.
Yeah. I've done that too. I'm like, hey guys, I'm at the movie theater. I'm gonna get some candy. Should I get Mars or Twix? And I have them vote, and then I'll go get that one. Yeah. Without social media, I can't do, like, that's YouTube, that's Instagram. Like, I can't reach people as easily, but I can always get.
You could argue that YouTube, as the second most used search engine, which it is, you could argue that YouTube's a search engine.
Sure. Okay. But I was thinking about it, like, I would then go search. Like, I'm not allowed to search.
Yeah. You're not allowed to search.
Right. But I can make content. And so as long as I can make content, I can get feedback. And then from the feedback, Believe Nation will guide me in the right direction, and I will crush it.
Wow.
You know what? When I was sick, I had like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, when I was sick, like for 4 days straight from hiccups and stuff.
Hold on. You got sick of hiccups?
I got sick for 4 days straight where I was hiccuping. This is what led me onto my path of health with Wim Hof and everything else. I was hiccuping for 4 or 5 hours at a time.
And it was just like indigestion with other stuff, or what? Like,
I don't know. Like, I ate something at Wendy's. I haven't eaten Wendy's since. This giant burger and a milkshake or something. And then it just felt super sick. And everybody was giving me their hiccup. It was hiccups, but for 4 or 5 hours of hiccups. It's crazy.
That's the diaphragm reacting. Right. Yeah.
So I was like, I did everything. Breathe into your sleeve and like drink water upside down and somebody scare you and all this stuff. And nothing was working. And we started reaching out to friends on Facebook who we knew were doctors and said, hey, like, what do we do? And my next idea was, okay, let's just go live on YouTube. Yeah. There's me lying on the couch after 4 days of just like straight hiccups, feeling frustrated, and at the end of like no energy, zero. I'm dead on the couch, and just say, hey guys, here's what's up. Because somebody would have an answer. Believe Nation would step up, and somebody would have an answer for me who would know a doctor and would help. And so I would pick social media for search engines. And so I trust in Believe Nation.
You mentioned about your health journey. I've known you for a long time, but I saw on Instagram this morning you posted a Bruce Lee video that you shot in your parents' backyard.
Okay.
A really long time ago. Remember when you used to do the like?
Yeah.
Like, he does this.
Yeah. 3 angles.
And I was like, my goodness, Evan is much thinner now. I mean, you've lost like a lot of weight over the time. I don't want to be rude here or anything, but let me call out what it is. Dude, you look so much thinner now than you did when you used to shoot your videos in your parents' backyard.
Yeah, I mean, that's a separate journey than the health, not getting sick. But yeah, I mean, I used to be over 200 pounds, just over. I'm 6'1", 6'2", depends.
Depends on what.
I don't know. I think I've shrunk over the years. I used to be 6'2", but then I measured myself and I was 6'1". Like, I think I lost an inch, but anyway, so we'll go 6'1", 200 pounds, over 200 pounds, just over like 205 or something. I never really cared about my weight. Like, I never used to, I could eat anything and not get fat. Like, just wouldn't happen. But then, metabolism slowed down or whatever. So I went on a cruise ship and I jumped on the scale and I was like 208 pounds or something. Like, holy cow, what happened? I was 160 in university. Like, too low for my height. The danger zone of BMI or whatever. So yeah, so now I'm usually in like the low 180s ish, sometimes high 170s.
Nice.
Yeah.
Watch that video. It's really noticeable.
I like it. There's a lot. I mean, there's hopefully a lot more than just my weight that's changed, right?
Oh,
like
dude,
I keep the old videos up.
Your performance. I was surprised you shared it on Instagram because your performance has come along. Like just watching your eyes, even, and the way you looked in the camera, and everything about it, man. Your videos are fire now compared to. And you were probably like 3,000 videos in even when you were doing that kind of stuff.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely a lot.
Journey. Great journey. Anyway, to circle around the question, I would give up social media in a heartbeat. I love search engines. I love being able to have the answers that I need.
That's a stupid answer. That's just wrong.
Great. Thank you.
You reach out to your friends. You're crippling yourself. What is your entire
Facebook? I told you that I'm not on Facebook anymore because I don't like it. So of course I would give up social media.
But you're on Instagram, which is even worse than Facebook. What are you talking about?
I love
Instagram. Instagram is the epitome of let me show you my perfect life. That's Instagram. It's showing off for the world, not just your friends. Instagram's way worse than Facebook for that stuff.
I guess I live a really sheltered Instagram life.
Yeah, but dude, it's not about consumption. I don't go on Facebook I don't consume almost anybody. I don't go on Facebook to see what my friends are doing. I don't care what you're doing, Mark. You in your backyard cooking whatever. I don't watch any of that stuff. Zero. I care about being able to have an impact and then being able to get the message out. What is your entire business? It's communication. It's marketing. If social media did not exist, you wouldn't have a business, Mark.
Evan, this is a question about what we would personally do, and I would prefer to have
I'm saying
over social media.
Your personal decision is wrong, Mark. You're out of business. You can get all the information you need from social media. Search engines are dying. Dude, search engines they're dying. Where are we going for information?
Of course.
So don't be a dinosaur and get on the social media train.
And here we are. Here we are doing this. I'm telling you, if I had to give up one or the other at this point in my life, what I would.
You're such a dinosaur, dude. You're such a dinosaur.
Great, thank you. Sir. Would you rather give up bathing for a month or give up internet for a month? I already know the answer to this.
Yeah, bathing
is the stinkiest, dirtiest guy in the world. Right?
Yeah. And I don't know. I'd find some hack, like I'd walk in the rain or something.
Yeah. You can just use I feel like women use like dry shampoo and you don't have to worry about shampoo anyway. You have a different haircut.
I would go like extra. Yeah. That's easy. That's an easy question. Who wouldn't? Everybody would. Like almost everybody. Only the dinosaurs wouldn't.
You're going to meetings. You're meeting with people. You definitely would need to invest in like talcum powder and stuff like that.
There's hacks. There's solutions. There's very little solutions for no internet for how long? Forever or a month?
A month.
Oh. No internet for a month. Like we get to Airbnb and like the first thing is what's the Wi-Fi password? How do we get in?
Oh, dude, have you ever? So like we go up to my cottage, my mom's cottage on the long weekends, and Monday through Friday you can get internet. But
somebody left a comment and said Mark Drager sore. I like that so much.
Wow, I can't even see the comment.
The Dragosaur! Oh, this is the best comment of all time. Say no. Mark Dragosaur.
I can't even defend myself. Anyway, so we go to the cottage, and as soon as Friday night hits, all of the like people with money, like the lawyers and the doctors, they all show up, and the wireless, the cell phone network basically comes to a halt. Like you can't even send or receive an email. Do you know how useless a telephone, like a mobile phone, is if you can't get on the internet? Like, do you know how useless your laptop is if you can't get on the internet? You find yourself on a Saturday morning and you have these devices, and you literally cannot do anything with them because you do not have access to the internet. So I agree. I would be a nice, stinky, dirty guy, but I'd be online. So I don't know what kind of dinosaur that makes me, but there you go.
A Dragosaur. That's the best.
Okay. Last question before we hit audience questions real quick. Would you rather know the history of every object you touched or be able to talk to animals?
Animals. For sure. That's so easy. Oh, of course. Dude, you talk to animals, that's a unique skill, man. Like, if you could think like a bird thinks or you know what's on your dog's mind, that's crazy. For sure. The history, you can look that up, man.
I feel like the way that dogs and birds and everything are, if you can talk to animals, it means they can talk to you. And I feel like they would never shut up. Like it'd just be this constant droning of this, like every environment you go into with all these animals, you know, rather than, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like they would just carry on and on and on and on and on. And
he's such an animal hater, dude. Animals are our friends.
I'm really not that much of I'm not an animal person at all.
No dogs allowed at Mark's office, by the way. So I have to bring my 2 dogs in every time I come, just because.
There you go.
We should talk about like rule breaking a little bit, because Danny, my video guy, always gives me like specific rules on what I need to do, to where I need to be framed and everything. Mm-hmm. And I like to, even to my own detriment, I don't like his rules. So like stand a little bit outside. Where yeah. Wow. Even though it hurts me in my channel, I secretly like, I want to do it. Like tell me I can't step outside the line, and I want to step outside the line.
Okay, maybe we'll have to do that on a future episode, because I can't tell you which week we'll do it. But I love to follow. I cannot. It really other than speeding, that's the only rule that I don't really care about while you're driving. We'll follow every other rule. And my wife is like more like you, and she I like to follow. I just like to follow rules. Like we're society.
You just don't like animals. All right, fine. Man.
Yeah, I'm not an animal person at all. We have 2 kittens and we have a puppy, and it's not like we don't have animals. It's not like I don't walk the dog, I don't take care of the dog and everything, but I'm already over this dog. And my wife. Wow,
dude, you're so, I don't know, man. It's ridiculous. How could you not be a dog? How could you be over a dog, a puppy dog? That's
well, anyway. Keep in mind, Roxy, I mean, I cuddle with her. I take her for walks. I take care of her.
No, you said you're over it.
I'm training her.
You're forcing yourself to do it.
But she's a 96-pound puppy, and she's a pain in the butt. So, yeah. So.
All right, let's get to the comments. This is ridiculous.
Okay, 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes until we're off.
Okay.
So let's hit some.
Animals probably have so much useful info. Yeah, that's right, Rashad Legs. Animals have useful info.
That guy's thinking more like a spy now, right? So no one would suspect that the dog would be listening into the conversation. So there you go.
Who is this man? Okay, this is this is Ishita. Who is this man? He's full of doubts. He's so confused. Why so hatred about social media?
Wow.
Facebook and Instagram are good. It's how you use them and who you follow there.
I agree.
Are you what? You agree? You're so confused? That's what he said.
Listen, my name's Mark. I am who I am. I am comfortable sharing my doubts, but also my confidence. And with Evan being as positive and strong-minded as possible, what kind of show would this be if Evan and I both agreed with everything all the time? So I have
Mark likes being villain.
I have to a certain degree provide a counterpoint to Evan's overwhelming positivity.
Wow. All right. Okay, Mark Drager, we saw that. Don't be a dinosaur, Mark. Another one that's great. Don't be a dinosaur. The greatest advice ever. All right, I love that. It's amazing. I actually use Instagram to be vulnerable. See, that's amazing. That's what I'm talking about.
So do I. If you want to follow me at Life at Fanta, you'll see a confident, vulnerable side as well.
And Mark's content is fire. But it's weird that you be on Instagram but not Facebook. That's just Instagram is the epitome of let me show you my perfect life and show off. Of all the networks, it's the worst. I'm very protective on Instagram of who I follow and the hashtags that I look at and what have you. So do the same thing on Facebook. Like it's a weird reason to write off Facebook but not Instagram for that reason. So Instagram is worse. They've done studies. They've done studies in terms of the reason why Facebook was able to be manipulated for political gains and for being able to sway people within like a sound chamber, but they weren't able to do it so much on Instagram, is intuitively Instagram is in fact a happier place. It is a place where people post images and videos that have to be much more positive. For the most part, political people are really struggling to break into Instagram because there's just no place for really that negativity within the platform. Now that may change and may continue to change. But politics wasn't the reason why you switched off. Politics was the reason. It was a huge part of it. I have
people across the spectrum, and there's the lack of honest debate and people posting articles that are just crazy and people jumping on everyone. Like that was a huge part of it. Yeah.
Could you build a brand or company without having content and social media presence? I'm afraid of posting in public and don't want friends and family to see me in this light.
And of course you can, provided you're able to still tap into your target audience through other means. So you can write blog posts and then post those things to a Reddit or to some other kind of community to draw people in. You can advertise through social media and Instagram or Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and Google AdWords to draw traffic in. You can do this without putting yourself personally out there, provided you're able to find your target audience through traffic sources, drive them to your website, and then be able to convert them. If you want to make yourself a persona and a leader, then you can't do that without putting yourself out there. It depends on your marketing strategy.
Just attack it. Attack it. Stop hedging. Stop being afraid. Stop living life in fear and attack it.
Or do what Evan said. There you go.
Yeah. Okay, what else? You're honest and helpful. Not every entrepreneur is. Most people would not like to be criticized or pushed by others. Okay. Some of the best freestyle. There you go. People liking the freestyle. Right?
I like
freestyle is the way to go. That's what we're doing.
Okay, guys.
Depending on what you want to achieve, social media can be very distracting. I think Mark has a valid point. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So down to our last comment or question. We got 1 minute left. Evan?
Okay.
Last comment, last question. What do we want to do?
Oh, one more? No dinosaur, Mark. Mark the contrastosaur.
I like
Mark is the contrastosaur.
Okay.
Contrastosaur or the Dragersaur. I don't know. I think either one is pretty good. We'll see what sticks.
We'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for everyone for joining us, and have yourself an awesome week.
If you want to see the last episode of my podcast with Mark, it's fire. The link is right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
So if I want to go to start a service-based thing, you could start with $0, but a tangible thing that you need other people to manufacture for you. How the heck do you make that happen with no money?